So I've been thinking about why I wrote the book Rebel Wealth: The 12 Pillars of Wealth to Build a Life of Strength, Purpose, and Legacy. And let me tell you a little bit about me. I was raised in a good family. It wasn't without its problems, but it was mostly good. Um, we I was a middle child. I did everything right. You know what I'm saying? I graduated from high school. Was never strung out on drugs, alcohol. Those weren't part of my life. Um, I served my church. I went to college, got a degree, a bachelor's degree, got married, started having kids, got a career, and it was a good job. It is a good job. And I was lost. I just felt lost in life. I was numb. I was just going through the motions. And there was a time I was really struggling with things. I pulled into the driveway. I used to work really late hours, long hours, and I was felt very disconnected from my family, and I was just a paycheck is what I felt. I didn't have much purpose. I pulled into the garage. It was dark. It was late because I came home late and shut the door, turned off the radio, and just sat there in silence. And I thought, is this it? This is all there is? There's got to be more to life than this. And that was kind of a wake up call moment. It wasn't the end of the world, but it was definitely a rock bottom moment for me where I thought this is ridiculous. I've done everything right, and I feel very empty. I feel very lost and just confused. So I started thinking about a quote from a man named Joseph Smith. Uh, he talked about clinging to the trunk. And what he meant was cling to the trunk of your values, cling to the trunk of the things you believe. And I thought to myself, what is my trunk? What are my core values? What are my core beliefs? And I came up with, it took a few months to come up with this, but I come up with strength, purpose, and legacy. So, strength in my body, my spirit, my mind, purpose. Why am I here? What am I doing this for? And then legacy. What am I leaving behind? What am I leaving behind for my generations after me? My kids, my grandkids, my great grandkids. Who cares? Who cares that I was ever on the earth? And I want my life to have mattered. I want people to have known me, especially my family, and think that was a good man. He had purpose, he had meaning, and I want to emulate my life after him. So the core of the book, The 12 Pillars of Wealth, is the three foundations: strength, purpose, and legacy. And then there are four pillars per foundations that uphold that and break it down to a finer level, things that you can attack. Number one is strength in your spiritual life, in your relationship with your Savior. And to me, I'm a faithful man of God. I'm active in my church, and I read my scriptures every day. And to me, that is very, very important. And that is a core value for me is I stay close to my Savior through reading the scriptures and prayer and service. And there are others, but that's the core. It ends with legacy. Spiritual is first. Legacy is number 12. There's things in there like emotional wealth, spiritual. We talked about that. Emotional, mental, freedom is one. Are you a free man? And adventure. Those are two things that aren't very common in lists of this nature. But if you don't have adventure in your life, and I mean just something as simple as shaking up the TV you watch, or not watching TV at all and reading a book, uh, going out to eat at a different place this weekend rather than the place you normally go, or if you go to your normal place, order something different. You know what I mean? Something to break up the monotony. And freedom. Everyone has freedom in their life, whether they think they do or don't. Uh, Even if you're stuck in a job, say you can't get out because of the paycheck. I'm in that boat a little bit. The golden handcuffs, that's a real thing. And I still have freedom in that job. I have freedom to have a good attitude about it. I have freedom to not have a good attitude if I want to. I have freedom to have side hustles. I have freedom to do what I want if I frame it correctly and have the right attitude. So anyway, I wrote the book. It took a couple months, a few months, and lots of iterations. We had different pillars in there to see if they worked, and we settled with these 12. And it's an amazing tool. It's meant to be something that you read, you wrestle with. It's not a soft read. It's something that's going to punch you in the face occasionally. It's uncomfortable. It's meant to be a wake up call, and it's meant to be something that arouses your thoughts, your emotions. And I hope that you cry sometimes when you read it. I hope that you're proud of yourself sometimes. I hope that you're not proud of yourself sometimes in the stories and in the examples that it gives. It's meant to just be a freaking wake up call to get you off a top dead center and get you moving again. Um, so I hope you enjoy reading the book. I hope that it's a great pivot and a hinge point in your life. And I'd love to hear about your experience with the book. I've had lots of people read it. Lots of women have read it, and they've said that my husband needs this. And so it's primarily written for ages 30 to 60. It was kind of my target audience. Gen X and millennials is kind of, they're the ones who are in the thick of life. Their dads, their grandfathers, they're ones who are right in the middle of their careers and might be just wondering, is this it? So it's meant to be something that reaches in your soul and rattles you a little bit and gets you to come up with your own plan, to come up with your own ideas about what your core values are, and to give yourself some buy-in in your outcome. Because if I just tell you what to do, you're apt to not do it. It's written such that you come up with your own plan, you write your own blueprint, your own code for your life, and then you have greater buy-in in that result. So if I can be of any help in any way, um, text me, email me, get a hold of me through the website. You can message me. You can message me on Instagram, Rebel Wealth LLC. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. Any way you can get a hold of me is fine with me. Send me a message. I'll reach back out and let's get your life back on track and see what we come up with a plan. I'd love to come up with a plan with you. So best of luck. I love you, and let's get going.